Hey everybody, KC Transformed here again, and today I have the Transformers Prime First Edition Deluxe class, Bumblebee. Yeah, another Bumblebee, so many of them. We'll get through them all eventually, hopefully. As long as they don't keep me getting more. One thing I wanted to go ahead and say is I just transformed him back into vehicle mode, and this windshield is very tricky to get in place just right. When you're transforming him, you're might have to wiggle parts around a little bit, all that other stuff, to make sure this windshield ends up right here, where it looks the most natural, I guess. There's still little spots where you can tell it transforms, but you know. His transformation is very different from the RAD version. Well, not completely different, but the entire upper body and part of the feet transform very differently. Only a couple parts are similar, and even then they're only similar. They're not even this close to being the same. But here he is in vehicle mode. He looks very nice. He rolls well. He's actually a lot of fun to roll, as you can see. All the wheels spin well. On the other side, you can see, you can see all of the robot parts, but at the same time, it's not just a robot being like sarcophagus in there. You can actually see there is some transformation and movement around. Especially since this is supposed to be a chest right here. It actually kind of reminds me of the movie Bumblebee. Paint scheme is pretty well done. I mean, there's no two different yellows like a lot of other Bumblebees have. It's got nice blue windshields, which I can see stuff on the inside, but they look really nice when it's being see-through. The black stripes look really good, and the metallic paint on the engine block here looks really good. Nice Autobot symbol tampered there. The headlights, clear blue, to make them look kind of realistic, look really cool. A little bit of orange on the sides, with the black across here. Even on the back, the taillights, they're just solid red, but they are painted, so it looks really good. It's kind of got a logo sculpted in there, but there's no actual thing for it. And he's got two tailpipes. Sculpted in, not painted. The wheels are painted with this metallic, kind of grayish black with the black wheels. And overall, it just looks really good. I like the design. My only complaint about the deco is right here on the sides, where the stripe just kind of juts out. And it's not like I'll move the parts around, it's just off a little. No, it's completely, I mean, it goes right past the other part. A little distracting, but from the front it looks fine. Even from here, unless you look into it a little too far, it usually looks fine. I just love how, this is probably my favorite this is probably my favorite Bumblebee car. It just looks so nice. For comparison, here's our RAD Viacon. You can see he's quite a bit bigger than the Viacon. Wider and longer. I'm not going to say anything about that. Compare it to a Legion class. Here is Beast Hunter's Blight, as well as Beast Hunter's Windraiser. There's those two legends next to him. Yeah, they're quite a bit taller. They kind of look like monsters next to him. But that's also because they're animal-based legions, so they look quite a bit bigger. And he has one accessory, his little gun. He does, unlike the RD version, he does not come with two of them, but it's a lot better looking. A lot of detail in there. I'll show it more in robot mode. In vehicle mode, it stores under here. You can see there's little tab holes all over it. There's two tabs on Bumblebee's feet, and it just taps into the thing, to the top of his, or the back of his feet, I guess. Almost. Not sure what you would call this part. And yeah, it doesn't really hang out. It hangs down a little bit, but just barely. He still rolls fine. There we go. I think I might scrape a little. I usually don't have it under there. But yeah, there's his vehicle mode, and it looks really good. Let's go on to transformation now. To transform him, you're going to probably want to come over here, grab the doors, kind of squeeze them in. That gives you clearance to pull the feet down. When you do that, you're going to come over here, flip this panel down. Gives it clearance to bring this whole part down. It becomes the legs. Split these, of course. This is the part that's kind of similar to the RAD version, but still pretty different. This lifts up. This flips down. As you can see from the foot, it kind of comes up like this. And when we flip this foot over, this is a bit different from RD version, because the RD version just has the foot already like this. But it does kind of this similar flip out leg gimmick. And there's his feet. we're going to move this up a bit. Actually, I'm gonna move this a lot further up. There. Then you're gonna come under here. These little pieces right here are tabbed into the doors. You're gonna come under and untab both of them, because they're attached to the arms, which you pull down. And once they're untabbed, you can pull them down easily. Bring the wheels out, and you're gonna turn them like this. Turny, turn, turn, spin, spin, spin. Then all these little hinges, you let them flip over to where this piece that you untab from the door tabs into the wheel, which makes his arm. Same with this side. Hinge, 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 and tab. And there you go. There's his arms. The shoulders and the arm and the rest of his arms are already in place. Now we just gotta deal with kibble, which, by the way, this is kind of a good way to do a shell former. As you can see, a shell breaks apart. These parts come out, and the top of the vehicle folds into the doors to make his wings. You're going to take the windshield, fold it down. This is much better than the RDD version, because on the RDD version, these top parts here are hanging off the windshield down across his back, and kind of gives him like a turtle look. Now you're wondering where his head is. This is another part that's different from the RDD version from its auto transformation. You're going to come in here, and you're going to actually unpeg this middle part, as you can see, and flip it up. Spread these out a bit. Turn this around. Turn this around. And you can see there's this little tab sticking out right there. Let's go tab into this slot right here. And you'll see what I mean when I get this down. I'm going to bring this back down. Almost like you're trying to connect it back in, but you're not. Because you're going to take this, just this front part, and it'll hinge inward. You're going to tab it in there. It's hard to show, but you can kind of get the general idea. You can flip this up, which kind of makes this body look a bit more solid. And you're going to put these back on these little struts right here. See those little things right there? You're going to bring them back in, bring his chest all together, push it down on those, and it kind of gives him a solid chest. You can also take these, the bottom of the bumpers, and extend them a little to make it look like his transformation is a bit more complex. I don't care for it. It's pretty hard to get them to come out, but there is that for his transformation, which is done by auto transformation in the RAD version. It just kind of simulates that. It looks alright. And spread his wings back out and just get him to stand. Get him to stand. It's just because his legs adjusted right, because of how his ankles are. There he is. Alright, now we got him in robot mode. Oh, his shoulder's not right. There we go. Let's go ahead and look at his accessory, which is this double barrel gun that I showed you earlier. Very detailed, much more detailed than our RAD version. Plugs into the side of his arm. Like, you can plug it on either side. He does not have two of them unlike the RAD version, but it's a much better look for him, even though he doesn't have two. A couple things that are different from RAD version. The RAD version has the hands and feet completely black. These are dark gray. A little inaccurate on the feet technically, but it looks good to me. Fits in a bit better with his color scheme, I think. Keeps it from having too much black. And as you can see, kind of with how this combines, it kind of implies it kind of transforms from this, even though this is just a panel pretending to be kibble, basically. Same goes for the part around his waist there. He has the actual wheels and stuff on his legs there. And to show this is a bit more flat, the wheels are kind of in the leg here. Kind of almost like animated blur, but not too much they could have done about that. He looks a lot more like his CGI model than the RAD version. Although maybe not as much as the Power Riser version. The Power Riser version is horribly out of scale of everything. Speaking of scale, here he is next to the Viacon, and that's about right. He's slightly shorter, which kind of works. And then for figures that probably won't be in scale of anything, but they weren't really in the Prime show, here he is next to Legion Windraiser and Legion Blight. Yeah, he's much taller than him now. And you'll just knock the Viacon out of his way. He has a much bulkier and much, more almost muscular look compared to his RAD version. Plus, this is still not perfect, but how this kind of comes, comes inward and out again. This kind of look, it's a bit closer to how it looks on the show. And that head sculpt's just awesome. That has an awesome Bumblebee head sculpt. I also kind of like some of the detailing they got under the head there. And if you can see that, there's a little bit of detailing right there at the neck. And it kind of uses the best parts of his vehicle to make him look better. I also kind of like how he does have the wheels in his shoulders, and they can actually still spin. His arms kind of just work around the wheels, which is really cool. Never seen that with a Transformer before. I guess I should do articulation then. Ball joint in the neck. Just looks all around. Blur. Look at all that. Oh, that's not good. His wings can flap. You can, flappy, flap, flap. Using the transformation joint, his arm does go back and forth. It does go around this on the wheel. He has a ball joint at the elbow, which allows for swiveling. But he also has a swivel under the joint. It's really hard to get going, but when you do, you can see he can have like a palm up thing with his elbow. It's easier to do if you bend the joint. You can see he has another swivel here. He's above and below elbow swivels, which is really cool. You don't usually see both on a Transformer. Unlike the RD version, he does have a waist joint. Spin, 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 spin. He has this thing that I really loved with Prime, where when you turn, the armor kind of moves around it. Oh, if he doesn't fall. Kind of like the VCon swivel, where the armor actually kind of moves with it, instead of just being cut off. Does have a knee joint, really stiff, good hinge. And he does have ankles. The card couple can give away the ankles sometimes, but they work just fine. And he's good for a lot of poses. I'm not good at posing. I usually mix really stupid poses, kind of like this. No, not far over. Nope, you fell. That's a good pose. Yeah. Let's get back over here. But yeah, there's Bumblebee. Overall, he's a really good deluxe. He's actually pretty cheap on eBay now. When they first came out, these first editions were really expensive, but now they're pretty cheap actually. And I got him off eBay for about $13. Price is up to you, but I say he's definitely worth $13. I say he's worth $15 actually. He's worth your money more than the RD version. So definitely go ahead and get him. This has been KC Transform. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it helped you decide whether or not you want him. And I'm out of here.